It's St. Patrick's Day. Fiesta di San Patrizio for Divine Comedy. I am watching the theater at the moment of war, and I am taking in all of the sights. There is some confusion on my part. I'm watching the CDC, which is the Centers for Disease Control, according to the New York area I'm in. But again, I'm not sure what the humans are up to. I know that the president I voted for, which was Trump, has always looked orange, like a basketball. President Biden, during this den napping and kidnapping with POWMIA, his last name for Biden looks very bipartisan. So we are clear between a 22 zone and a 55 zone, between the ZZ and the SS, for who's on top. I'm looking at the benefactors, or the people that have benefited, while I'm here as benediction being completely neglected and taken advantage of. And this woman does not look very Irish. I can't tell if she is... I have a problem in New York. New York has an Irish flag with an Indian tie. It has an Italian flag with some Mexican tie. And then all of a sudden an Afghan flag showed up out of nowhere. And I'm like, what is that tied to? So now, who is this woman? Well, she's self-directing herself as director of CDC. And this is her name. But she doesn't look like anyone I hired. I'm in the wrong storyline. I'm in the wrong area. I was held here not because I wanted to be here. There's nothing that I've gone through that looks correct. And that's what the Center for Disease Prevention looks like. Control and prevention looks like. I'm seeing a pattern here. It's very concerning. This U.S., the us, it goes by this flag. Now, the us that I know is me and a man that stands over 6 foot that I belong to. That's never going to change. We are built for one another. We have a storyline already etched somewhere in it. We imprinted one another for certain. What I don't understand is when the world starts to spin again, why I wind up here biologically attacked in some really hard to explain storyline for which I really don't care for. But there's some really serious things tied to it, like little pieces and strings of I have no idea how she even got to that position or who hired her. What administration or campaign promise? What funded her? Because I'm down here. I saw today increase heightened security. So, while major things are being investigated, the mayor of New York City is more exposed than he was a few weeks ago or months ago in security details. Football security came in today. Although the mayor himself made a baseball reference. I'm like, oh, isn't that clever? But they whisked away my Kathy Hochul. I don't want her getting too friendly with the people that she can't trust. So, Let's see. I have a short list of potential hometown heroes. At Sports League. Let's think about this. Yeah, I would definitely go with, although again, I don't know if Trump's self-directed or if he's directly in concert with something called, I mean, he wears enough orange makeup, so between the 7th and 8th line of what a basketball looks like prior to multi-generational problems. At Sports League and Arena, being that this is New York, not New Roma. Oh, and then I saw at Ukraine, they have Russian tanks. They have some Z and V. I've been seeing that for nights. It's not for me to comment on, but I will, but I won't. I have no idea. Is that someone in the U.S.? I mean, is this like improv theater? Are they like in the moment, or do they have planning access to protect themselves? Like, I don't know how real war works. Like battalion war, like where they're on the field. I mean, like, do they just put them, like, what? I mean, like, again, under besiegement. Yeah, I live in New York. It's been a problem in the theater, elsewhere, and here since prior to my arrival. I've had subsequent multi-state failure of different acts that have been forced upon my person. But I don't know who's directing Z or V at AZOV. AZOV. Just so we're clear. Here it says Bipartisan Policy Center at the moment. And she's calling herself a director. She doesn't look Ukrainian. She also doesn't look Russian. She looks something very different, which I'm not putting a label on because I don't have to. This is what they're showing. Bombed theater survivors on ABC World News Tonight on St. Patrick's Day. So if I do this for a moment, I actually have heritage, but I didn't gain anything from it because they died too young or they weren't educated themselves. And I put a white flag over that, as well as this one for the moment.
Posted to social media show other sites also sheltering civilians being hit, like this swimming pool complex. Some have escaped the besieged city, but as many as 250,000 may still be trapped there.
I'm in something called beseech. Beseech. It's a Coptic awareness at POV.
As the fighting rages, aerial footage released by the AZOV battalion.
Now this, AZOV, those symbols, there's Z and V on these things. Who's on the horn? Is this live, or do they plan and practice ahead of time? I don't have answers, and I don't have anyone to ask answers at who's on the horn. This is what it says.
Several times before a soldier escapes trying to take cover. Minutes later, other soldiers appear to be killed. Hundreds, possibly thousands of civilians have been killed in this war. Today, a family of 5 was killed in Chernihiv in what Ukrainian authorities say was a Russian strike. The emergency services sharing a graphic video.
I'm just curious, at nuclear physiology and nuclear anatomy for a nuclear envelope, that seal is broken at the moment. Possibly. How does one fix that? I do not practice nuclear biology in the sense of I do not give radiological products. I do not practice medicine. I do not touch humans' carcass. Not from anywhere. That's a Caracas term, just so we're clear at etymology. However, there were these wings of hospitals built by certain New York Jews. They have their names all over the place. Dedicated wings, whatnot. Have no idea how they got that level of operating money between the hotel industry, the travel and leisure, and all the blood money that they've spent on this disgusting arrangement between humans and management. And now, inside of those Jewish hospitals, or hospital donations, there's a league like no other that are going there, studying, taking over. I mean, you've lost control of the hospital. They're actually poisoning people in certain areas. So now how do you take care of that inside New York City? I'm just curious. Especially when you have a CDC director and some bipartisan whose idea was it to educate everybody in higher level learning at the same time, so they all spread out like cockroaches that are really hard to like get them out into the light and then whatever. It becomes really difficult at this level of infection. It makes everyone look bad. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxies, broken. And it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. I look a little Trump orange myself. My problem is it's not makeup. At this moment, it's something to do with liver function and kidneys, but it's due to the arrhythmia of whatever they're doing to me via climate information and whoever's now at the helm of a really dangerous nuclear physiology, whatever.